Good deal. Happy, joyful new deal. It's a duck, and it's the fourth day of the fifth Betamax month of the new year, and we are at THC Duck. And so basically, this is like a Betamax, a replay of for the first Due week of the entire Dewey Do journey from birth to duck at the age of 70. So, uh, welcome. It's very good to have you here. I'm honored that people want to hear me, and even if nobody's listening, I know that this is a timeless, forever recording, and it will be studied and seen in the future. And when Fred Dale is finally eliminated from the mindset of duckdom. Ducks have declared war on humans, mucks, bucks, stucks, and yucks. That's it. That's the human race, and everybody who is involved is going to be judged by the way they treated Dale, and only the people immediately in Hackensack who have supported Duck will be elevated or ascended. So basically, to get to the Duck news, Roger has has expulsed Hugh Braille of Mac Failure from the realm of duck realm of the duckdom because this is like a delusional system that Dale maintained for 51 years about Huey, Dewey, Louie, and Donald. But actually, there's only two ducks, and I'm one of them. And the ultimate and the other duck is Drew Christ, my podcast co-host on the Do and Drew conspiracy podcast, which you can find on YouTube. There are 47 episodes so far, so we're in no hurry to make a new one because people have to catch up. And that's why I'm doing these daily dues to help people catch up. And that's exactly why we're doing Betamax month. At least it's Betamax month for the first week of the due week. And that's where we'll get all the riffraff cleared out. And basically, everybody will understand their place and they'll conform to the new standard of behavior based upon beyond Dale. How are people treating Roger? Roger is the creator of the space program, and Roger Dale Allen is my original name, birth name, which was bastardized and violated and done in by the actions of my mother. Roger and Map were supposed to be the the anointed couple, and they had two children, my sister Sarah, and then me. So I was the first actual reality baby in Map's life, and because girls are created through the portal of the spirit, whereas men are created through the penetration of the vagina by the penis. So basically, there is a basic difference between the feminine and the masculine, and that's why the masculine is ultimately always Fred Dale. Well, actually, in the past, in the pre-duck darkness of Dewey death in the past of the battle between Dale and Fred, everything was temporary on Earth. So basically, this idea that of immortality was a foreign idea and an impossible concept until actually Dale did his 51-year 4-minute mile being God to prove to the omniverse not only that he was unique and the designer and creator of the entire omniverse from which we are going to build Disneyverse when the Mox, the Duck, the Mox, the Fox, the Stucks, and the Yucks are eliminated. And people say, how can you be so heartless? How can you have no mercy? Dale is mercy. Duck exists in a, and Roger exists in a zone of no Dale. And there is a quality genius. Duck has his Mary Magdalene wisdom. Sophia, mate, found. Duck is, as I said, my podcast co-host, Drew Christ, Andrew Reinhold, and I'm not going to reveal the name of his quality, but Neo had Trinity, Dale has infinity, and Duck has quality. So that's the yin yang, masculine, feminine coupling of the actual new Gaia. We aren't going to refer to Earth anymore. We're on Gaia. So on New Earth, on Gaia, there is, people say, how can you be like so detached where life doesn't mean anything to you? And actually, that's the whole point, is that to humans, life has no meaning. They are totally blind and forever stuck in the 3D Disney Trinity loop. Basically, they have no ability to grow. They are stuck, they are asleep, and they are permanently they are permanently disabled and dysfunctional from the functionings of reality, which is not based in 3D. 3D is based in actuality and the matrix. And 4D, which is Duck, Genius, and Roger, the start of the next Holy Trinity, of the most next design Trinity. That's a good one. Not divine, design. So the essence, the character, the personas of the new integrated design Trinity are Duck, Genius, and Roger. So basically, a Duck is the male, Genius is the female, and Roger is basically the dude. So Duck is Dewey, Genius is Dale, and Roger is Dew. So basically, Dew is at the top of the food chain again, but it's all initiated by the dedication of Dewey Death to becoming Duck. Having reached the beachhead of Duck, it's like now I can truly vault into Roger and give Drew Christ the responsibility of being Duck. So that's what I'm doing, and Drew, the Drew Christ has no interest in annihilation or unaliving anybody, and I don't either. It's like it's what I do, which is eternal, DW. What I do is obliterate all consciousness from humans who are asleep and take them into oblivion. So basically, I don't unalive people, I obliviate them. So just so you know, and so you can change your attitude towards me and towards life, because it's time for to roast today. So I'm going to actually shuffle them today and see what comes out after one shuffle. And we're going to take 2 cards. We're going to take 3 cards today. We're going to take Duck, Genius, and Rogers. So from the top, we have Duck is the Queen of Swords upside reversed. So that means that's talking about the sacred royalty, which has been overthrown by the Fred Hugh mob of jealousy and envy of little men and prideful men. So basically, the Queen of Swords, which is the Queen of Cups, which is the source of all abundance, of all emotional abundance, has been overthrown for the humans, for Hugh and whoever else is stuck with Fred Dale. And basically, they're stuck and they have to go through eternity without Dale. So fuck them. Fuck the Mucks. Fuck the Mucks. Fuck the Stucks and screw the Yucks. And here we got, next we have the King of Pentacles. Oh, it was also reversed. So basically we have a king and queen overthrown. As I said, good King DUCKDale has been overthrown and brutally sodomized and violated by a Fred mob of Hugh operatives, I guess is the right word. So I don't have bitterness, but I did Fred Dale Hugh today because I realized that he was the Judas who betrayed Dale into the hands of the Mucks. And in 1975, when Dale revealed his secret of being God to Hugh, and Hugh ran away and ridiculed Dale. And from that moment, I have been fighting alone the revolution that I was inspired to begin by Hugh, who I thought would be with me throughout the war of liberation of the people that we lead. But actually, it turns out that Hugh is a little wuss. He's a coward. He decided, when I told him my secret, to just pursue a life of fucking coke, and marry some unworthy human rather than the genius who we co-created together at Dartmouth. So, as I say, I don't have bitterness, but looking back as Duck at the story of Dale and Hugh, I realized how deeply the treachery he's responsible for against the person that he insists on calling Dale and doesn't, and is actually, in his reality, the demiurge of blind creation being thrown into the chaos of nonconformity. And finally, the King of Cups. So we have the Queen of Cups reversed. So the King of Cups, the Queen of Cups, the King of Cups, and the King of Pentacles. All the kings are being overthrown. And Hugh was the only 3. Well, actually, so the Duck Kings, no more kings. The Duck Kings are being overthrown. That's Donald, Hugh, because actually the only one who at this point is being overthrown is Hugh. So the Huey son of Donald. Duck is taking care of Hugh, and Genius is dealing with stuck Uncle Donald. So that's what's going on in my personal life and the personal wars that I have. And I should say, it is not a war, WAR. which is temporary and earth-based. I have declared a whole worldwide wholesale war for reality on the earth, and to transport it to Gaia and to ascend it to Gaia. So basically, you aren't going to die. You're just going to be transported to the fourth dimension. And the more you resist leaving Dale, the more painful it's going to be. So get rid of your addiction to Dale and get the fuck into Dewey Duck. So into Duck and Genius and Roger. And leave behind the Disney Trinity and accept the new order of authority. So having said that, having talked about Hugh and ducks and everything, and Duck Wars, we're leaving Uncle Donald completely out of this. This is between Do and Hugh, Duck and Fuck, because Hugh is hereby given notice that he is the fuck, the Agamemnon that Dale Achilles has vowed to expunge and eliminate and throw off and expel from the realm of the Dialina. And everything has been scrubbed clean on the Dialina records. So like Fred, like Doc, like everything, they're just, when they die, they just enter eternal oblivion in the black hole. So that's their choice. They chose Fred Dale. I gave it, Dale guaranteed a good life for everybody who was his enemy. He let them have their houses, have their fucks and their children and everything. And basically, so I have no guilty conscience. Dale gave everything to the people. He thought we're loving him, but actually we're eating his soul. So basically, the Fred Dales from now on get no Dale. They only get the carrion body, rotting body of Hugh, Hugh and Yuck and Fuck realities. So basically, it's not the ducks that are going to eat the mucks. It's the duck werewolves. So every duck has a werewolf in the Dew Kingdom, in the Dew realm. There is no kingdom, there's only the realm. So in the Dew realm, which is actually the Duck Roger realm, where flies the Dialina and all the starships of the seventh dimension, where they land in the seventh dimension, and then people walk to the Duck Genius Roger theme park. So basically, the design of Disney World has been passed from the Disney World of Dale Dewey Do to the Disney verse of Duck, Genius, and Roger. So that basically sums it up. And with that in mind, let's bring up the real issue that's going on, which is liberating Persia and obliviating the entire Iranian Muslim extremist, Muslim extremist, Allah worshipping, pedophile honoring Muhammad Muslims. So basically, those are the yucks. And Chuck is taking care of those. Chucky Stealth. He's the heavy armor of the Duck Army and of the Duck military, and he is right now throwing bunker busters at all those scrawny, cowardly. I can't even think of words to describe how low they are, but basically all the Iran, which is a misnomer. Persia is not Iran. So let's get that straight first. It's this regime calls calls its occupied country Iran. Iran is a product of the Rothschilds' creation of Israel state in 1948. It has nothing to do with the historical reality of Persia. And the Persian people are not only some of the most beautiful, genetically pure people on the planet Earth, but they are also being oppressed by these fucking Islam terrorists that are posing as control agents of the people as they take to the street and need help overthrowing the regime, which goes a lot deeper than just Iran. And that's what people don't seem to understand, is that this crucible of Persia is really the point where the humans can no longer escape the judgment of Duck. And fuck Allah. Duck says Allah is way beyond Dewey death. He's like so deep in the pits of Hades that he's gone. He's obliviated, and that's what's going to happen to every Iranian person, because as I say, Iranians are not Persians. So this is every human is motivated, empowered, and energized by the inner complex, the inner dynamo of Dale Dewey Do, which is inside everybody. So basically, what's going to happen is the Dale Dewey Do within the mucks, fucks, stucks, and yucks is going to explode. So they're going to start with heartburn, and then the pain is just going to grow. And they aren't going to be able to die. They aren't going to be able to Fred. They're going to wish they were Fred. And if they do Fred, they're going to deepest, darkest death, which is beyond hell, is beyond void. It's horrible. And that's where Hugh's going, because he chose Freddale. And if you choose Freddale, that's your choice. You're perfectly welcome to. But I'm Duck, and I'm not Dale, and I'm tired of people, as people have done for 51 years, when they put me on mad meds to control me and to dim my light, which was naturally shining at Dartmouth. And so my light is now unfiltered. And if you see me right here on the Daily Do's, then you are seeing the incarnation of the design. So if you want to Fred Dale, if you want to cling on to this conception of 3D, you're welcome to. And you're Fred Dale, and you're going to be forever in perpetuity on a 3D loop of the Disney Trinity, and forever reincarnated, fucking, dying, and having children. And that's the human condition, and that's what Hugh has chosen, and I respect him. I told him he was going to be no Dale, and without Dale, there is no mercy, and without mercy, there is only degeneration into greater pain. So welcome, Hugh, to Dewey Death. And anybody else who wants to deal with or argue with me or bring up contrary points, you're perfectly welcome. But you're Fred Dale. The first time, Fred Dale, anytime you bring up the name Dale or or Dale, basically any mention of Dale immediately condemns you to Fred. So I've forgiven Drew Christ his 5 Dales. I've written them off, but from now on, no one has access to Dale except the family. The family. And Dale is Roger Allen Walsh. So just so that's what's going on here. I unleashed the full force of Dewey death on the regime today, and it's Armageddon. It's Judgment Dale. It's the fourth day of Dale. It's the fourth day of the Age of Duck, and I'm fucking tired of pissing around. So judgment has been placed this morning on the mucks, bucks, stucks, and yucks. And our immediate target of duck concern is the bucks, the hues. So, but I'm due, and he's Hugh, and he's not me. So he's going to die. So and I'm the only duck male besides the anointed. So let me see. I think we can do a poem. It goes all things end in Dale. In the solitude of private questions, I entertained a host of deities who laughed to death to their I entertained a host of deities who laughed to dewy death the concept of one energy being all, one God. The demiurge separated in the fallen universe, alone from curiosity of Sophia, seeking self in solitary quantum isolation, fulminates blind against his creations, refusing to comprehend the hidden knowledge of God essence as it disappears into the unformed being of shattered delusions. And that's basically what Fred Dale is all about, is shattering the illusion built over the last 51 years of Dale taking 2 red pills a day for 51 years. Actually, for a long time, I was taking 6 pills a day, 6 red pills a day. So, Matrix is pretty realistic, but that's 1 red pill. I've probably taken at least 20,000 red pills. So that's where I get my authority. That's where I get my sense of truth. That's where I get my discernment. And that's where I get my ability to pass judgment. And it's not judgment, it's diagnosis, and it's understanding the full picture, the full movie of Roger Joseph Dale Edward Allen Tompkins Walsh, which Duck is the only entity in the omniverse who has totally watched the whole movie, and that's why he took action and came to Gaia, not only to reconcile and relieve Dale of the responsibility of being God, but also to raise Dale Dewey do to the status of spirit and in the Hall of Fame of the Omniverse. So basically, the Trinity of Dale Dewey Do is the dynamo that drives every individual, every entity, not just humans, but all entities are powered by the dynamo of Slick Dynamo Circus, or the Thinking God's Guide to Frisbee, the foundational philosophical work of Dale Edward Walsh. So, but that won't be published for probably 6,000 years. But the reason I came in this incarnation was to make sure that all the writings of God, who was Dale, are not lost. So basically, I'm here to sit on the treasury of the DO archives forever, or at least guard them so that what happened to the Gnosis books won't happen to mine. And I'm at 30 minutes, so have a great day, everybody, and enjoy the sunshine.